Hello and welcome to the second season of Mugaris.
Yeah, we're back. This is Mugaris back again on your sets. Yes, back again with this dude and myself. And that's something that is quite unfortunate. However, he is looking quite astonishingly stunning.
Yes, we are kind of looking great, aren't we?
You are, and I've always been looking great. I've always been looking great, extremely great. It is basically what I do for a living, which basically is a little bit enhanced in season 2. Season 2,
and this is what we have in store for you.
We will get our coffee.
Oh, nice.
Your coffee, guys?
Oh, thank you.
Let's go.
Thank you.
Also, milk water on the side. Enjoy your coffee.
So
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I scared them.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
This thing is not meant for drag racing. It's meant for off-roading. So that's it for today. Yeah, Johnny Brook. Yeah, the PCs versus the Mitsubishi.
So that's what we have in store for you. You might have noticed I was stirring my coffee when we left, and I'm still stirring it.
Thank God to a Seaver's Cafe right here at the village in Borderdale. You would never have tasted coffee this good if it wasn't for this cafe.
It's really good coffee. That's quite strong too.
Extremely strong.
It is.
Reminds you of something?
It does remind me. It
Yeah.
reminds me of a strong ruggedy bakkie
Yeah.
that we reviewed earlier on in the month. A Mitsubishi Triton.
I loved it. I really loved it. Did you like it?
It's a bit expensive.
Right. Let's see exactly why you say that and I say what I say. I still think it's extremely good. It's a really nice car.
And expensive.
The first generation model of Mitsubishi's compact pickup truck was first sold in Japan as the Mitsubishi Forte in September 1978 and continued until late 1986 when the line was cancelled in the Japanese domestic market for 5 years.
In Japan, the Forte was originally sold with the 92 PS, which is 68 kilowatts, 1.6 litre 4G32 engine. Later, this was updated to the 86 PS, the 63 kilowatts, 1.6 G32B engine with a two-wheel drive or with a four-wheel drive coupled with a 2.0 litre Series G63B with 110 PS, which equates to 81 kilowatts.
Now offered in basic deluxe trim, the larger engined version was also available in leisure-oriented custom trim.
The custom also had a smoother and less utilitarian bed without provisions for fitting a canvas top and with fewer hard points for strapping down loads. Now let's take a look at the Mitsubishi Triton we have today, which is a facelifted version of the 2015 facelift.
The Mitsubishi Triton looks like a medicine.
Stop saying that, Innocent. The Mitsubishi Triton looks like what?
What? You finish? You were about to say something.
I'll
Won't
allow
you
you to
say
say
it? Say it. No,
It
I'm
looks
back here.
fantastic.
I'm back here.
Look,
Say it.
you were saying that the Mitsubishi looks something like wax.
Anyway,
Whatever.
the Mitsubishi.
Whatever.
Aesthetically, the car is a striking slab of metal. The car we have has a metallic grey finish, except for its overly polished, semi-chrome visage, made up of broad horizontal slats for its grille, sharpened LED headlamps, electrically adjustable fold-away mirrors, and bright work completed with the obligatory polished diffuser plate. Subtle.
These lines here makes it look like a panther that's just it's ready to pounce.
In fact, that gives me an idea.
Yeah.
Why do you call this a Mitsubishi Triton? Mitsubishi has to listen to us. We should call it something different.
A Mitsubishi
Triton Panther.
There's an old school feel to it, a ruggedness that provides hints and clues to a 4x4 legacy that extends across, among other things. This is a trademark of 12 Dakar Rally victories, 7 of which were done in succession. But this isn't the Dakar, and this isn't a roll cage hero, rather a production car that must, in 2021, be competent on tarmac as well as gravel, as well as be competitive against rivals of a more modern breed. It's 60,000 USD.
That is expensive.
What? Come on. The Triton flagship with full 4x4 drivetrain with automatic transmission is priced just right.
Yeah, right.
Come on, let's take a look at the interior. When I say the words luxury SUV, your mind probably doesn't immediately wander to the Mitsubishi Triton, right?
Because it doesn't.
But it isn't a German make.
No kidding.
A nation that has cornered the premium market. But at this price, it's certainly comparable to something like a Toyota Hilux and a Ford Ranger with equal workhorse pedigree. The similarities don't end there. Each is a full-size double cab with seating for 5 and a copious load bay.
Alright, welcome back. We're taking a short break from the review there to take a look at what is happening in the motoring industry.
Exactly.
And, Mungu, what's happening in the motoring industry?
A lot is actually quite happening. I mean, if you want to see and if you want to really look at the motoring industry and what we've been exposed to these past couple of years, you find that there's a lot of things happening. Do you know what's happening at BMW?
What's happening?
Yeah, well, so BMW has begun lapping the neighboring, I know you are much better in saying that word, in the updated version of its X7 luxury SUV, launched just 3 years ago. Yes, just 3 years ahead of an anticipated launch in 2022.
You know what doesn't make sense right there?
Yeah,
This is a luxury saloon, right?
yeah,
It's an X7.
yeah.
What is it doing on a racetrack? Like, when are you ever going to take it for racing? Now, seriously, it doesn't make any sense.
But it's important for car manufacturers just to test their cars on the racetrack. Look at what we're doing here on Mumhari this season, season 2. What have we done? What are we doing?
Yeah, but it doesn't make any
We're
sense.
taking our cars to the racetrack. That's quite important.
But it doesn't make any sense to take a luxury car on the neighborhood. The surface is smooth there. I mean, if you want to test a car, let's go on the waterfall
And to us.
and test the luxury car and see how it does.
One of our producers would totally love the fact that you referencing waterfalls. The state of roads and waterfalls, the nicest roads for off-road vehicles. And that's basically one of the things that you'll understand. What else do we have on the news?
We have a car that will probably do worse on those roads.
Now,
It's the 2022 Honda
Yeah.
Civic. What they're doing.
the buying guide for Porsche. I heard that they've got a new buying guide for the Panamera.
Yes, they've got the new Panamera. It's significantly longer than the older one. It still has 4 seats at the back. It's quite comfortable for medium size.
Understand it was launched in 2010, and it is a car that has gone through the changes over the years, and it has gone to somewhere where you think you can like it.
Yes, I was about to
Are
tell
you a Porsche person?
I was about to tell you the changes.
Yeah.
But you, as usual,
Tell us the
butted
changes.
in.
You always have to give him what he likes. Tell us the changes.
All right, it's a bit longer than the previous version. It's got a bit more space for medium-sized individuals at the back, so it's really quite good at the back. But if you're 6 foot or taller, then it'll be a bit cramped for you. But it's still a performance car. It still has 400 486 brake horsepower.
Yeah, 400 and well, the diesel is 416
Yeah, 416.
horsepower. However, you know, at launch it was one of the fastest production vehicles ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, at its launch. So look, keep it up for Porsche. They make really speed, fast cars. I don't know why really low numbers of mbingas in this country drive Porsche.
Drive Porsche.
Very few of them. Why? Why is it not that
And
popular?
have you noticed that probably the only Porsche that we see is the Porsche Cayenne, the SUV.
Yeah.
And you don't really see the
But
911.
that's the more affordable Porsche you'll find, and also it's also raggedy for Africa. Maybe would you really take?
I've seen a Lamborghini in Zimbabwe.
Would you take a Porsche to Chitungwiza roads, the humps?
You
would
wouldn't
you do
get
that?
past, you just turn around, come back that side. you drive it here, Morodo, along Morodo Road. That would be proper.
Yeah.
But,
What else do we have?
all right, the 2022 Honda Civic. So
Yep.
Honda is going to introduce the Honda Civic.
Yep.
What's new with the Honda Civic? It's still a hatchback, and it still has a 6-speed manual transmission, and you still have the 1.5 liter, 180 brake horsepower engine that is associated with the sedan, but you can actually, as an option.
A lot of people in Zim drive Honda Civics. Of course, it's not the 2020 Honda Civic, but it was quite a popular car in Zim a few years ago.
Yes, it's quite a popular car because, as usual, the parts are available.
They're extremely
And cheap.
Is that why? Is that why? But a Honda is a Honda.
Okay.
I mean, if you mention Honda, look, this is the first time on season 2 you have to mention the greatest one.
No.
The biggest Honda you'll ever find. Yes,
no,
I'm
stop
gonna
right
say
there. Stop right there.
Honda Fit.
Oh,
Yeah,
you ruined the whole show.
yeah, that's all. But you can't go through a whole episode without mentioning the Honda Fit.
You ruined the whole show. Cut. It's just.
They've got like a lot of them these days. They've got that funny Honda Fit hybrid, sort of semi-electric. I know you'd like it. Can we get you one? Can we get you one? Can we review one?
Not on Fit. Not on Fit. Definitely not on
All right, let's get rid of that. What else do you have?
All right, we did talk about the BMW X7.
Yep.
Now we're talking about the BMW 4 Series. That's the Grand Coupe.
Yep.
The second generation of the 4 Series hatchback comes in rear-driven 430i as well as an all-wheel drive M440i. The second generation Grand Coupe.
Before you even continue, I'm like rings all over the head there. You had to talk about BMW again. We talked about the BMW. Now
Did we not spend the whole of last season talking about?
Do we have to
Mercedes-Benz?
continuously talk about BMW?
Yeah, but we had 5 cars from
Right.
Mercedes-Benz.
I'm giving you 20 seconds. What about
20 seconds when you had the whole season of Mercedes.
What about that
I'm
BMW?
not going to take 20 seconds.
What about
Read
the BMW?
this whole article? Right, there we go. The front end of the existing car continues to be combined with a pair of extra doors and a slightly higher tailgate line that is much more gently tempered than that of the 3 Series sedan. Basically, it's an overgrown hatchback. I'm not a big fan. I'm a big fan of BMW, yes, but I'm not a big fan of these Grand Coupes. I mean, it just don't make
Yeah, BMW does that. Doesn't really make the best
Oh,
cars.
come on, give me a break. You
Doesn't
guys
even-
copied GLE.
Whatever the idea is, Mercedes, and that's it.
That's it for the news. Let's go back to the Mitsubishi Triton, where we're still not sure whether it's a good car or okay car.
I think it's a great car. I still say that.
It's expensive.
Good backing.
It's expensive.
Ergonomics are typically Japanese, intuitive if uninspired, featuring acres of grey plastic, mostly scratch resistant. There is more shiny plastic around the gear and drivetrain selectors, plus dual zone automatic air conditioning. The leather pews are generous and comfortable, also generous the amount of off-road controls thanks to its Super Select 2 4-wheel drive system. The driver's seat is also electrically adjustable for added convenience.
Yeah, but the passenger seat isn't electrically adjustable.
However, the space for the seated in the back, Manyenga, is average.
All right, when you get into the Mitsubishi Triton, I think the first thing that you'll experience are the seats. The seats are really comfortable and man-made leather with very good stitching. They're really comfortable. I think for long distances you'll be okay. And the other thing that you'll probably look at is the steering wheel. It's not that big. It's okayish for a bakkie. You've got controls on the steering wheel. You can control your infotainment system through the buttons here, as well as you got voice commands as well in here, and you got flappy paddle gear shifters that are here. Your digital display unit here is not digital. It's actually a mix of analog and digital. Gives you your fuel consumption, how you're driving. That's a very good thing that Mitsubishi has added in this. It rates how you're driving. So if you're pressing the accelerator a bit too much and braking too much, it'll tell you that your capability of driving eco is below par. Something about the steering wheel is that you can actually adjust it to whatever height or whatever length you want. It's telescopic, so whatever makes you comfortable, you can put it and lock it there, and then you're comfortable. So yeah, let's look at the quality of the interior here. It's scratchy materials everywhere and plastic materials as well. I'm not too happy about the infotainment system. The quality of the screen is not HD. The resolution is nothing to write home about. All right, before we get into the camera, maybe there's something interesting that I need to tell you. It's the way this car is designed. The door is designed in a J manner. It's going to be interesting because I will explain to you how this affects the person that is sitting there. But before I get in, there's something that you also need to know is that the Mitsubishi Triton does come with ISOFIX settings here for your baby car seat. They're a bit hidden, so might be a bit difficult for you to actually fit them in onto the seat, but they are available, so kudos to Mitsubishi. Now to get in isn't that hard as well. You've got your side step over here and your handle over here. This is a really big car, so this will really help you out. So here you go, and you're in there really quite comfortably. And talking about leg room, you've got sufficient leg room in here. This is adjusted to my driving position, and you got sufficient leg space there. Maybe if I just close this door there. Oh, did you hear that? No, maybe one more time. That thud there just screams out quality. Kudos Mitsubishi there. So like I was saying, enough leg room here, enough headroom as well. This is adjusted to my driving position, so yeah, it's really quite good.
At the heart of this monster is Mitsubishi's 2.4 liter MyVec DIDC 16-valve turbo diesel mill. It's electronically controlled common rail inline 4-good for 133 kilowatts and 430 Newton meters, with access to the sum of its torque early at 2000 RPMs. It's more a juggernaut than sprinter, capable of a 0 to 100 in around 10 seconds. But that's to be expected in a truck this size. More relevant to you perhaps will be the fact that it can probably do so whilst howling a Boeing 707.
Oh, come on, you're over-exaggerating.
Of course, maybe I could be a little bit exaggerating.
Its road manners are better than I expected too. Most notably, an automatic transmission that surprised me with butter-smooth transitions in bumper-to-bumper traffic, and remained buttery when the road cleared and allowed me to cruise at national speed limits. You couldn't accuse it of an agricultural drivetrain, yet it proved just as capable off the beaten track.
Now, taking a look at the handling of this monster, being the proponent of a fully independent rear suspension further fortifies Mitsubishi's luxury claim. That Triton genuinely exhibits the sort of car-like ride qualities that the marketing folks love to tout. It also benefits from a great 220mm ground clearance and copious departure angles for getting out of tight spots. Add to that the sheer heft of the thing, and you really get the impression as the driver that you could roll over just about any sort of terrain, or bush, or beast.
You can also blame a helm with a slight dead spot around the center, a throwback to the thumbs out off-roading days when a rough terrain would send the steering wheel spinning with enough force to amputate your stubbiest digit. You youngsters wouldn't believe.
Which youngsters? Don't be funny.
There we have it there. That's the Mitsubishi Triton.
Lovely, lovely vehicle. I continue to say that. I don't know why do I continue to say that.
You know what, Mungu? I don't deny that the Mitsubishi Triton is a proper car. It's a proper bakkie. It's got
Yeah.
the power.
It is
ruggedy.
inexpensive. I know you're continuously coming back to the fact that it's expensive.
It's expensive.
Like for the
60
range of car that we're talking about and what it can do, load capacity and everything else. I mean, look, this is an African market and this is Zimbabwe and this is sub-Saharan Africa. That car is sturdy. That car is made for Africa. Ask everybody. And Mitsubishi is made for Africa.
It's made for Africa, but okay, I'm more for comfort. I know I'm barking up the wrong tree by asking Mitsubishi to make a bakkie comfortable, but when you get into the car,
Yeah.
you think that adjustment for your seat has to be electric for both the driver and the passenger.
But at least
with the
you've got-
Mitsubishi,
at least
it's
you've got
manual.
the electric driver.
Yeah, but that's for the driver. What if I'm sitting at the passenger seat?
Why do you need to be manual adjusting things? I'm giving you a ride. If I give you a ride, then you'd better be working on it. And why would I be like making sure that my battery works on you when you're a passenger?
You're being stingy with battery power.
Look, the car is 60 grand, 60K. It's reasonably priced for the range of vehicle you're talking about and for what this car can do. It is totally impressive.
Well, I'll agree with you that it does its work.
Yeah.
It does exactly what it's made
Made
for.
to do, yeah.
But what if I told you there's an alternative to the Mitsubishi Triton? It's a bit cheaper and got a whole lot of.
I like the fact that you want to get an alternative. Could there be an alternative? Is there an alternative? I don't think there's an alternative. I think for its range and this price range, because we're talking about 60K here, 60K in them, everything paid for, including all the taxes and everything of that sort, and the support is there, and the warranty is there. For 60K, I think it is the car to go. And what alternative would you get? What sort of
What
alternative?
if you don't
would
have 60 grand? What if you don't have 60,000?
You have how much?
I don't know, 49, 50
You
grand.
can get the car of that level.
That is
for
almost as good as the Mitsubishi Triton.
You can get a car for 49 grand.
Yeah, that is as good.
That is as good as that. As good?
As good. I'm telling you. Have you ever heard of
Right.
the GWM series?
You're hearing it. You're hearing it here live. Live.
Why don't you ever
Or
pay
maybe
attention
recorded,
to
whatever
what,
it is. But still, you hear it here on Mugaris.
Why don't you ever
This
pay
dude
attention?
saying there's a better car that he has. Prove it. Prove it.
How am I to prove it when you keep interjecting?
How better could it be? For 49K.
It's a very good
For
car.
49K, everything paid for.
Have you ever heard of the GWMP series?
Well, I've heard talks of certain vehicles that look like certain vehicles that are based on certain vehicles that may be, close to resemblance of certain vehicles.
Anyway.
GWM.
Oh God. Anyway, this is what we're
Prove
going to be
it.
looking at
Prove it.
next week. I'm going to be proving to
He's
this Neanderthal.
He's not proving Jack.
I'm
This guy
gonna
is
be
not
proving-
Jack. That's Triton.
I'm going to be proving to this Neanderthal that there is a car that will compete with the Mitsubishi Triton, and that's the GWMP series. And we'll be looking at it.
The GMW, the BMW. It's never far away from you.
I'm done with you.
This dude. Man,
Thank you for the coffee.
You're putting on a great suit, eh?
Ah, yeah.
Don't act like a Neanderthal. Right, so this is Vulgaris. This is basically what we're doing every single episode here on season 2. It is the big season. It's the season to be. It's the season to get. This is the new Vulgaris. Join us.